I'm here today with Renato de Guzman, the CEO of Bank of Singapore, commonly referred to as Bing. Bing has been leading the bank when it was ING Asia Private Bank, and now that OCBC has recently acquired the bank as a separate subsidiary, he's continuing to lead the bank, integrating it with the existing private banking franchise that it had established. Hello, Bing. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi. Good morning.
I just wanted to get your sense of what's happening in private banking. Private banking is coming out of a very major shakeout, of course, a major world economic crisis.
Our business has done quite well. I think the global markets have recovered. So year to date, we're running at way above our last year's revenues and net operating profit. So it's been healthy recovery from the crisis, and that's reflected also in our revenues, and our net operating profit. Our cost-to-income ratio has come down significantly. So we're looking at a very a good recovery year as far as private banking of Bank of Singapore is concerned.
What's your profit growth been like in this period?
This period is over last year. Last year, I would say maybe 30% over last year.
What have your challenges been in establishing a brand? Because Bank of Singapore will be unknown, and you'd of course carry over some of your clients from the old
Yeah,
bank,
right.
while losing some along the way, I suppose. But I mean, now to attract new clients, you have to really establish the Bank of Singapore brand. This is probably not the best time to be establishing a new brand, being sort of at the bottom of the market. What have your real challenges been? How have you sort of approached this branding?
Well, I think it's important that most of the, probably 95% of our clients in ING we have very little reduction in terms of number of clients.
95% stayed on.
Stayed on, yeah. And then also in terms of then we merged the OCBC private bank into Bank of Singapore. So that again is in terms of I think there was also a positive reception to that. In Southeast Asia, we don't have a problem because OCBC is a very well-known brand in OCBC. I mean, they have a real market share in Southeast Asia. It's quite well known. So it's more of outside. But then with the use of the name Singapore or Bank of Singapore, I think it's easier in terms of it's easier. There's easier acceptance. Even until up to the Middle East and up to Europe, there's been acceptance of the brand very easily.
Is Singapore accepted as sort of the Switzerland of Asia? I mean,
that's right.
Do you see it as a private banking hub?
Yes.
What about in North Asia, China, Korea, Japan?
I think also we have in terms of we have a niche strategy in Japan, and then in Korea. We haven't really taken over ING Asia Securities, so that's only going to be done now, So, but I think in terms of acceptance, I think because Bank of Singapore really, it connotes Bank of England, Bank of Japan, Bank of Singapore. So it has that connotation that is easy. Sounds like So it's it's easy to, and also the close connection to Singapore as a wealth management center. I think it's not so, in terms of launching the brand, acceptance of the brand is quite easy.
OCBC, of course, has a reputation of having a very conservative culture. ING Asia Private Bank, not quite that conservative reputation at all. How have you been able to sort of marry the two cultures? Where has there been a compromise, and where have you been able to manage kind of square that circle?
I think let's just say probably that they didn't really have the full suite of offering in OCBC private bank. So what's important is that now they have the full suite of products that ING Asia had always ING Asia were able to deliver to its clients. So that's I don't see any conflict in that sense, because in terms of we also have conservative clients in ING Asia, that has crossed over to Bank of Singapore, and you have to serve them according to the risk profile. So it's a matter of identifying the risk profile of the client and providing the right product.
So what have you had to change about the way you used to do business in order to sort of fit into more like the OCBC conservative way of thinking?
Not much. I don't think we had to change our way of business, because in terms of they understand the business. I think it's more of understanding the business, and I think we have people that are, I think the OCBC management are very strong group of professionals, very strong management, so they understand the business more now. So that's why it's, I think we don't really have issues with regards to risk. So we see risk the same way. I mean, basically there's no difference in the way you assess and manage risk,